So if you're thinking about using WordPress this year, I want you to really hear this video because I'll be sharing with you a few things you need to know before using WordPress this year. Okay. The thing is, WordPress is actually a powerful platform, highly favored by countless WordPress developers globally. I mean, this is a fantastic tool globally. Okay, and it is very easy to grasp, but indeed requires time to fully master. And the platform is actually the backbone of millions of blogs and websites globally, including the New York Times. Okay. And so the platform actually extends its flexibility to accommodate any unique requirements. It is really the adaptability and capability of a WordPress developer that makes this platform a top choice over its competitors when you think about it. Okay. So, one thing I want you to really pay attention to here is that you have to really like think about using action and filter hooks. Okay. Action and filter hooks. The thing is that action and filter hooks are two different forms of hooks that a skilled WordPress developer can utilize effectively. This is essentially where the magic happens because a WordPress developer can insert their own code or even customize WordPress's default operations. So if you want to use a WordPress and you're really interested in coding, think about action and filter hooks. It is actually a crucial aspect of WordPress development, illustrating the extent of functionality and flexibility that a proficient WordPress developer can bring to your project. So that's really important from a flexibility point of view. Okay. And the second thing you need to really understand here is that the WordPress template hierarchy is really quite essential because you really need to become proficient if you're not already. Become proficient in intricately assembling, let's say, assembling different template files to constitute a complete web page. Because the thing is that you do not, maybe you like one part of one web page or one part of one template, but not the other part, right? You just want to really slice and dice several templates to actually constitute your overall website. So every unique template file symbolizes a distinctive portion of a page, and collectively, they fashion all contents of your personalized pages accessible via the WordPress administration system. And so basically, you want to really understand the hierarchy. Okay. So this is effectively illustrated with the practical application, amplifying the real time role of a WordPress developer, or let's just say a WordPress website owner. So you can actually, you want to make sure that you have those templates must all mesh together. If you want to have a wonderful WordPress website, you got to know your Git attributes, okay? And I mean, understanding specific path configurations like Git attributes is actually essential to help you optimize your workflow. Why? Because you want to really develop, let's say, program. You want to really develop seamlessly, but you also want the user to actually have a seamless experience. So the Git attributes file is a unique Git configuration file, critical for enhancing your WordPress themes and plugins for end users. And this Git configuration helps streamline settings linked to distinct directories and files. And this incorporates advanced features like content file filtering before committing modifications and configuring path specific merge methods. So that's important. I mean, mastering the use of these attributes is actually a vital skill for every WordPress developer or every website owner who really cares about how his or her website turns out. Okay, and you also need to pay attention to the core. Do not edit the core. If you want to really like use WordPress, don't touch the core. I mean, as a WordPress developer, you want to abide by, let's say, the fundamental principles of WordPress, and there are fundamental principles actually. And the bottom line here is that WordPress doesn't want you to modify the core files. So when WordPress core receives an update, it overwrites the core installation, incorporating new enhancements present in the release. And if these core files have been tampered with or truncated, significant portions of the installation may actually cease to function. And you do not want to have that because it will become more complicated to fix that part of your WordPress. Okay. And because this can potentially sabotage the upgrade process, leading to a defective installation. And you do not want to go there because it's just a lot of time. It's a lot of wasted hours, a lot of wasted energy. So don't touch the code. And also, meddling with WordPress core files could potentially expose security vulnerabilities, creating an open invitation for hackers. And you do not want to really tell hackers, "Hey, listen, the doors to my websites are open," right? So don't really. I don't recommend that that as a WordPress developer, you actually get into like the editing the code. Don't do it. If you are going to create a website, let's say a WordPress website, you need to keep your site secure, and you got to really be proactive in keeping the site secure. It doesn't happen automatically. Okay, you have a lot of threats on the internet, and I mean, this is a dangerous world online. There, okay, you have a lot of bad actors who just want to really take advantage of vulnerabilities, and you do not want your website to be in the vulnerable category. So you play a critical role in ensuring the security of a website against common threats like malware and SQL injections, either as a WordPress developer or as a WordPress site owner. So, one of the key responsibilities of a WordPress developer or a website owner is to actually ensure that the site's plugins and themes, at a bare minimum, are regularly updated to the latest versions. Because the thing is, you have gazillions of plugins and themes and templates in your WordPress website. Okay, you have to really have the latest versions of those plugins, because this safeguard minimizes vulnerabilities and strengthens the site's defense against potential attacks. And those attacks will come anyway. It's not against you. Those attacks are not against you. They're just, I mean, bad actors are just trying. They're just trying. Let's say trial and error and see which site is vulnerable. So basically, experts say you always have to be on top of emergent security threats. And also put your valuable knowledge to use in protecting your WordPress site. You also need to learn to create site-specific plugins. I mean, it's kind of cool to actually download a plugin or really pay for a plugin, but at some point you want to really expand your own knowledge and really create site-specific plugins. So your role as a WordPress developer may involve enhancing your website through custom plugins. So these are especially beneficial when you desire persistent changes on your site that survive a theme switch. So as a developer, you can efficiently modify or expand existing plugins to improve functionality. So for desired customizations, instead of merely tweaking code in your theme's functions PHP file, you just want maybe reach out to a specialist to kind of help you out. So if you have a WordPress website, you want to enqueue scripts and styles this year. And this is going to really strengthen your website big time, because a WordPress site often requires the expertise of a proficient WordPress developer to actually manage various plugins. I've said this before, especially the more quote unquote complex your website is, the variety you need when it comes to plugins. So as a developer, you will ensure that plugins such as JavaScript and CSS files are correctly hooked and linked to prevent duplication. So a vital aspect of this process is enqueuing, which is a CMS friendly method of integrating scripts into WordPress sites. So what happens here is that instead of merely utilizing scripts and linking HTML tags, a WordPress developer, such as you or me, typically recommends employing enqueuing scripts and styles for seamless site operations. So what happens here is that you are streamlining the whole site from A to Z. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So employing the WP enqueue script WordPress function effectively can be vital in the process. Also, do not develop without debugging. You gotta debug. You gotta debug. This has to be a routine function for you. Otherwise, you're just exposing your site to a lot of vulnerabilities. Okay, so you want to initiate the debugging mode. A best practice, when it comes to activating, let's say, when actually strengthening the coding process. So you are actually this is important though. This steps holds high importance as WordPress because WordPress has a smart error detection mechanism. But what happens here is that it will promptly send a notification about any coding anomaly, and this will help you to rectify the issues at the right time. So that's kind of cool because you are one step ahead of the game, and that's what you want. You want to be in that position. So one thing I want you to really remember also is that you want to choose the right hosting provider. See, the thing is when it comes to WordPress, you have a lot of players, a lot of providers, hosting providers. I mean, as a matter of fact, you even have WordPress.com, which is really a great hosting provider for certain websites in certain industries. Okay, so this web hosting thing is often overlooked if you are doing like if you're building a WordPress website. So, but web hosting is one of the most important components of a successful site, of a successful WordPress site or non-WordPress site. Why? Because if you have the right website, the right website hosting, you're able to enhance your SEO, which is really critical. Your search engine optimization, that's kind of important. That's how you make money too. That's how you drive traffic. You can increase sales. You can keep your site secure, and you can keep your site running fast. I mean, nowadays people are so busy. Nobody's going to wait for your site to load until they actually get the info. If your site is too slow, people are going to leave your site in droves. On top of that, Google is going to penalize you because they will see that your website is actually very slow, and they're not going to drive traffic to your site anymore. Make sure that the hosting provider you choose has an excellent customer support with also an uptime track record. That will help you big time. Also, you want to really master the WordPress database. Okay, so if you are a WordPress developer or a WordPress website owner who's interested in all the nitty gritty of WordPress, you want to develop a deep comprehension of the fundamental WordPress database tables. Okay, as of now, WordPress comprises 11 default primary tables. And the cool thing is these tables actually are the foundation of a successful website because they hold information pertinent to various WordPress sections and features. So leveraging these tables, you can easily modify passwords. You can deactivate plugins, which you might need at some point, because if a plugin is really messing up or whatever, you might want to deactivate it, and you can choose themes straight from the database. Okay, so you do not want to really always go through admin panel access anyway. Let me give you a few extras here. So if you are using WordPress this year, I want you to really understand that WordPress remains the most popular CMS in the world for a reason. Okay, CMS, content management system, for a reason, because you have more websites are being powered by WordPress than any content management system. Okay, so that's important because a CMS, by the way, is a piece of software that lets you easily create, write, edit, and publish content on the web. Okay, so you have WordPress accounting for 5 to 10% of the entire planet. Okay, that's important to remember that. And so you have a lot of players, a lot of people trust in WordPress, and also there are some really high profile brands using WordPress. I think I've said this before, but it's important to really reiterate it. You have the New York Times, you have CNN blogs, you have Reuters, well, the Wall Street Journal, you have Forbes, you have Mashable, you have the Next Web, and you have the New Yorker, among others. All of those are built on WordPress. I mean, for those big brands to trust WordPress, this CMS has to be really good. And WordPress is not just for blogging. Okay, don't think that you have to use the site for blogging. I mean, that's a misconception. A lot of folks believe that the WordPress is only there for blogging, but no, you can do a lot more with the WordPress if used properly. And plugins also let you add a ton of functions to WordPress without coding. That's what you want. You do not want to really keep. You do not want to be in a situation where you're constantly coding for your website. And a plugin is actually a shortcut to a wonderful WordPress site. Right now, there are about 40 to 50,000 WordPress free plugins in the official WordPress directory, and but you also have premium plugins. Premium plugins can add even more functionalities to your site. Okay. And WordPress skills are useful if you don't want to be a developer, because then you have a clear idea about what happens in the background, and that can help you too. Okay. And you can use WordPress for intranet sites too. If you have a company intranet site and you just want to really run things in the background, you can use WordPress as well. And you can also use it for membership sites. You can really use WordPress for a membership site to make money on the site. Fantastic. One thing you need to really understand here also is that WordPress remains one of the most free sort of CMS in the world. Okay, this is basically because it is open source, so it is totally free and open source. You never have to pay a dime for WordPress, and you can make any changes you want to the site's code. You can use WordPress for whatever kind of site you want, and as many sites as you want, without purchasing additional licenses. So that's kind of cool because the affordability is there, the flexibility is there also. There are so many jobs you can get with the WordPress dev skills. So if for any reason you work as an employee, you can find jobs working with WordPress at creative agencies or companies who run their sites on WordPress. And WordPress skills can help you get a job as a developer or designer, or even in marketing. Yeah, you can get a job in marketing. That's really fantastic. Also, what I want to say is that WordPress can be great for you if you are a freelancer, because the thing is, you do not have to you do not have to really stick to one CMS over another. Whether you want to offer basic services like site setup or theme customization, or go all in with fully customized sites with all sorts of backend programming, there are so many opportunities nowadays. Okay, and WordPress skills are also they also happen to be super valuable for bloggers, marketing consultants, SEO consultants, and anyone else who works with sites hosted on WordPress. So that's kind of cool. And I also want to tell you that you can make money with WordPress without working with clients. That's really cool because you remember that you have that, like I said, you have a lot of themes, a lot of plugins. I mean, there are plugins all the time, and those plugins actually can really constitute a recurring source of revenue for you this year. And you can get started with WordPress in no time. You don't have to have a PhD or even a background in coding or programming to actually start in WordPress. And your WordPress sites will be easy to manage because of the open source nature of the platform of this CMS. Okay, you just need to really spend a few hours at the beginning to set things up, and once you set things up, actually the management becomes very easy. Okay, and WordPress, I just want to say that WordPress has been around for so long because it was first released in 2003. So you can imagine that there is a huge community online as well as extensive documentation available, right? So pretty much any question or issue you may have run into has probably been experienced and hopefully solved by someone else already. So that's really fantastic. And also, in addition to the all the free support from the community, there is also premium support available from a variety of developers. So if you run into an issue you really can't figure out on your own, you can always hire someone to help. In closing into this conversation, I just explained to you things you need to know before using WordPress this year, and I give you a 10 top things you need to know before using WordPress. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.